Do you think because Subaru doesn't do anything like this anymore, they do not see a return on investment in competing, going out, spending the money, the resources, building the cars to
Brother,
do all this?
I could scream at their marketing department
Yeah.
for days.
Hey,
I
and they'll
don't
give
think
you a new color WRX if you do.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
boy.
all we're gonna get out of it. And this is no offense to. I love what the Vermont car guys have done. Their
Yeah.
projects are insane. The guys who are working over there have done some amazing things. I think Travis is great. I think Scott Speed's great. I love all of what they have done in the past. And honestly, they have elevated a lot of things with what they have done. But with that stated, all of it went in one direction.
And none of it has anything to do with any cars that Subaru's
Anything-
selling and that people can buy that
Right.
you can build.
It's not relatable.
I mean, all right, give them Project Midnight. But if you took the budget that it took them to build the family Huckster and then this new Brat, if you took that budget and put it into supporting people that wanted to go out there and run SCCA and Grid Life and NASA, like
Well, I think-
you,
Yeah,
you
but
could
John, look,
easily
this is
make
the-
a big push there.
those two are going to increase sales of Brats and GL wagons, which is what Subaru needs right now.
I
I
totally forgot about
think
that.
one
Correct,
issue is an identity separation between Subaru and Vermont Sports Car, because I get a lot of people that think the cars that Vermont Sports Car builds is from Subaru, and it's not.
Yes.
I think there's an identity separation that needs to happen. I know Subaru and Vermont Sports Car work together on stuff. However, I think that the identity between them has become too close and has become blurred for the general population to see a differentiation between, hey, this was Vermont Sports Car, this was Subaru.
Well, and the thing that I don't understand is Vermont Sports Car is not Subaru.
No.
Subaru is writing Vermont Sports Car a very large check to go out and do what they
Exactly.
do. But
Yeah.
it seems like I would assume that like Project Midnight, the family Huckster, the Brat, that Subaru had to like sign off on that at least to a certain extent. I don't think Vermont Sports Car is just building these.
I think they're working with their
completely-
marketing department, but I
Yeah.
think it's just like it's super easy for Subaru of America to go, you guys are just our motorsports thing and we don't got to think about it. And I think they need to think about it. And they're
Yeah.
not.
That's kind of
And there's so
the-
many different buckets they could put this in that
Yeah.
they could think about it even harder.
the vibe that I
Or
get
you
is they're letting him off the leash, because to me, what Vermont Sports Car is doing doesn't look like a direct tie-in with Subaru. Like the Huckster
It's not
from
relatable.
from the side of
Yeah.
Subaru marketing department, green lighting the Huckster seems like the weirdest move ever. That just to me feels like some guy off to the side with the money made his dream car.
And I don't want anybody to think anybody in this this is nothing against the Vermont Sport Car
No.
guys. What
they're
you built.
awesome.
I think what you've
They're
done
awesome.
is amazing. Okay. It's just I totally agree with what you're saying. Like from a marketing standpoint, how does that make any sense? You know, I can understand even from a marketing standpoint why Subaru wouldn't come down and like I drive a GC. You know what I mean? Why they wouldn't throw 30 grand a year at me to, you know, just to help the program. I get why they wouldn't, because though I might be proving the platform, I'm not proving their current platform. I'm more proving the aftermarket. You know, I can understand why they wouldn't do that with me, but there are others out there. They could build a platform for that really cheap, stuff that already exists, and push that narrative really easy for nothing. You just find a couple of the right people, and it would be dirt cheap compared to what they're throwing into some of this other stuff.
I feel like what they've missed is like, I think this was a marketing meeting where they got around creating something exciting about just the Subaru brand, like the big
Sure.
Subaru brand, and like let's create some excitement. What can we build that's going to be a completely insane car that we can make these, you know, Gymkhana videos and whatever and get millions of views for the brand of Subaru. And what they've missed is for it to really have impact and for you to really get an ROI on it, it has to tie back to something that people can get excited about, see in a showroom, get in the driver's seat and drive,
Subaru,
feel
I
it,
do not
experience
think
it.
understands why they sold so many 08, you know, GR STIs. And it all comes down to, and I will scream this, Gymkhana. Okay. And you could tell because the type of customer who came in before and after when I was still working at Six Star changed overnight. Okay. It went from nerdy dudes with, you know, these were accountants, these were IT guys, stuff like that. to flat bill dudes coming in with, you know, they were damn near a
Right.
decade younger. These were the cooler kids in school. Before that, these were not the cool kids in school. Okay,
Yep.
it was
Right.
and it happened overnight, and they don't understand how they got that demographic excited. But what they saw, or what these kids saw, was Ken Block sliding around, and that car exists. Subaru sells it, so they'd go buy it and then go try to
Yeah.
build it. Look, there
Yeah.
was a 1-to-1. You can't draw a line from Vermont sports car to a current WRX right now. You can't do it.
No.
But it was really
No.
easy for a highly unintelligent human being that literally was oxygen starving themselves with a vape to
boy.
go from a current WRX or STI to whatever Ken Block was doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the other thing
Tanner.
that not a lot of people at Subaru think about, especially with somebody who lives on the internet, having these videos where you do like the Brat. I saw the Brat when I was at SEMA. It looks phenomenal, but I can guarantee you in 2 weeks I'll barely even remember it. They'll release a Gymkhana video on it. Everybody will love it for a month, and then poof, into the void it goes. Things move so fast in the viral scene online now that people will talk about. Look at the Concept B. People were posting about that thing for like a week straight.
We got no new
Nothing.
info though.
Absolutely nothing on it now, and it's going to be the same way with like this Brat, the Huckster, all this other stuff that Vermont Sports Car, or like Subaru is paying Vermont Sports Car to make these like super awesome cars. They're going to be great. They'll hit online for a month, and then it's poof into the void.
Could it-
and
could
it
we have
doesn't
actually-
tie back to what Dewey was saying, where people
Yeah.
can actually go out and buy this car if they were to make one. Because like you said, if people see this thing going and doing all this stuff, people are going to share it more. They're going to be like, hey, I can go buy this. They're going to do all those crazy little TikTok edit transitions where they go buy one and then they do the cap cut stuff and
Yep.
whatnot. And it's a
And
lot more
gonna slow
relatable.
burn. It's going to slow burn online a lot
Yeah.
better too. Instead of a giant flash, you're going to see constant streams of people using these cars, you know, over a season or whatever. You're going to see that, and it's very relatable, especially if it's real people behind it, not giant corporations, real people.
Man,
Yeah.
Subaru
Do you
should
think
hire
that
us.
Subaru has
should.
understood
They absolutely
or
should.
picked? They should. Yeah. Do you think Subaru has understood this over the last couple of years, which is what's leading up to this Concept B?
No.
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 I think they have. I think
I'm
if
actually
they,
with Art.
let's say, yeah, okay.
Okay.
So during
Okay.
this live announcement, what did they emphasize? The performance side of it. John, you and I talked about how it's the first
Yeah.
thing they hit on. The first videos in the background were all performance related, and they spent a good 50% of that conversation talking about performance specifically. To get to that talking point, it takes some Subaru years. So I think they have been thinking about this for a long time, and maybe even talked about these same concepts of we can get people excited momentarily, but we can't make the connection to get them into the showroom. Now, to me, the Concept B, they got us excited momentarily, and the more information they put out, the more excitement I think is going to build. And if they tie it into the showroom, and then if they take that car and they also race it and compete in motorsport, they're back to the formula that we're all talking about that they used to have.
Thanks for tuning in. To hear the whole conversation, click below for the full episode of this podcast, or tune in every week on iTunes or Spotify. If you like these episodes, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, because your support is what makes all of this possible. Check out our website at flatirons tuning.com, and as always, stay tuned with Flatirons Tuning.